Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. We've got the Bank of America Roval 400 at the Charlotte Roval here. We are about to head into the second round of session qualifying. Qualified fifth in round one with Ryan Blaney. We'll take you through today's points update after qualifying concludes. Of course, this is the final race of the round of 12 of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, so just 5 races to go on this final NASCAR Heat 5 season on the channel. So we're getting pretty close to the end of our NASCAR Heat 5 series gameplay, playthrough, whatever you want to call it, on the channel here. So this is definitely getting down to it, to say the least. Give me one quick second. I'm going to pull up the points so that way we have it for when I do actually... But to tell you guys what the point situation is coming into the day. Coming off one heck of a race at Talladega on Tuesday. I'm sure we are going to have another one here today as well. We had a heck of a race as well 2 days ago at the Roval for the Xfinity Series. If you guys missed that race, that was fun all throughout. It was only 55 laps. We have twice as many laps here in today's race, so we'll have to see exactly how this is going to go. So 10 minutes here to decide who will sit on the pole in this race. One thing Dale Jr. was able to do as well in the Xfinity Series race was really back those corners up to try and increase his lap time speed overall, and that's where he was really able to catch the leaders. By the way, he obviously ended up getting the win on a last lap pass nonetheless on Tuesday's race at the Roval, again for the Xfinity Series playoff race here. With the Cup Series showing off their round of 12 finale here today, expecting a pretty good show. With it being the cutoff race, we know everybody's going to be fighting for every single point that they can get. We are using the controller for today's race as well. We did use the steering wheel on Tuesday for that Xfinity Series race also. Blaney's going to run one lap here, and then he'll end up hitting pit road this next time by putting 4 fresh tires back on the race car. Then he'll go back out and try to complete another lap or two before the end of the round. Big wheel spin, a 118.392 will be lap 1 as he got into turn 1 pretty hot there to start lap 2. But again, he'll be coming to pit road this time anyway. R6, welcome to the stream. We are almost to 700 subs, exactly, getting really, really close. We could honestly get there at any day at this point. So Blaney coming to pit road, as we mentioned, 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. It's good practice for the race as well. No practice for today, just the qualifying sessions. Helping us for the race. At least we had a 55-lap Xfinity Series show 2 days ago on this very racetrack that kind of helped. .7 pit stop there for Ryan Blaney. No adjustments in this qualifying session as well right there. That lap 1 time, though, was a lot slower than what he ran in qualifying. Qualifying in round 1, he had a lap time of 1:17 in that 1:18 range currently. Still have about 5 more minutes to try and increase on that time and maybe have a shot to get on the pole. Start of another lap right now. He is increasing, I should say minimizing that gap. Oh, Blaney got into the wall there. That's going to cost him a ton of time off of turn number 3. I should say off of turn 2 and into turn 3. Blaney kind of clipped the end of that wall near the exit of pit road, and it was just enough to really sway that car sideways, getting onto the brakes into turn 3. Ghost Destroyer, welcome to the stream. Doing pretty good today. Hopefully you guys are too. Getting a early start to my weekend. It's amazing what these curbs can do. Sometimes you see these cars bounce a couple feet off the ground, it feels like, and then all of a sudden, sometimes you run over them and you don't bounce at all. You almost just gotta kind of hope and pray that the car sits perfectly back on the ground. When he's running out of time here. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. currently shown 3rd on the board? Kevin Harvick needs a pretty solid day today. Gonna try to point his way in through the Roval if he can't get to victory lane here in this one. He's one of the bubble drivers. Kevin Kasem, 18, welcome to the stream. Cap 24, welcome as well. Happy New Year indeed. Oh man, another big shot. Lenny hit that first curb and it just shot him straight down the racetrack. At a more awkward angle into the second curb on that backstretch chicane. He did pick up the pace and picked up one more spot. Got their turn one really, really well. This isn't going to be the final lap. This is going to be the second to last lap for Blaney here in qualifying. Picked up about 0.8 of a second that last lap as well, 17.546. This lap so far, at least through the first half of it, is looking a lot better than any other lap he has ran in qualifying up to this point. That 117.5 is about what he ran in round 1, and that was good enough for 5th. But here in this round, it is good enough for 4th. Cap, in that case, that just makes you one of the originals. One of the original fans. Oh, Blaney pushed it too hard. He's in the wall. Still got the top of the charts. Unbelievable. Just imagine how much quicker that lap would have been if he didn't bang it off the wall on the exit of the front stretch chicane. A 117.170. Blaney to the top of the charts. Time is now expired, so this is the final lap for anybody still on the racetrack. We'll see if anybody's going to get around him here. Blaney's going to be the last driver to... No, second to last, sorry. There's one more driver behind him that is still running. That really, I had to imagine, would have costed Blaney any sort of shot of this final lap being his quickest. Oh, jeez. A lot better of a qualifying effort here as well. Remember, we saw Dale Jr. qualify 18th in the Xfinity race, and he still won. A track position's going to mean a lot again. It was so hard to pass the leader. We didn't see anybody pass the leader until that final lap of the race, unless it was on a restart. Though it was good, hard, close racing throughout. So that lap time, the second to last for Blaney, is still going to be what gets him on the pole with a 117.170. Ryan Blaney on the pole here today at the Roval. It is his third pole of the season, along with Sonoma and New Hampshire. Remember, he qualified second at Watkins Glen by 1/1000th of a second, so almost the fourth pole of the year, but it is the third. Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream as well. See you in the chat. Alright, so we'll take you through today's point stipulation coming into the final race of the round of 12. Again, this is the cutoff race for the round of 8. Thanks for everybody tuning in right now as well. We got 9 people watching here today. Hit that like button before we get started for things here today, as we have just wrapped up qualifying. Again, Blaney on the pole for the third time this season. Blaney also comes in with a spot already clinched into the round of 8. He is the only driver that is locked into the round of 8. That was because of a win at Las Vegas. Our winner, Eric Almirola at Talladega. Yes, it was his second win of the season, but because he was eliminated in the round of 16, it doesn't guarantee him a spot in the championship 8, as he was already eliminated from playoff contention. Here are the drivers coming into this race. Oh, no. No, I did the... Okay, so what I did was I calculated the points, but I didn't actually put where the cutoff line is. You guys are going to have to give me one quick moment here to figure this out. It's not what I wanted. Yeah, give me one quick moment. All right, so the 4 drivers that are below the playoff cut line coming into the day here today. First off is Denny Hamlin. And the last driver in right now is Alex Bowman. So Alex Bowman is the last driver in. He is 8th in points right now, above the playoff cut line by currently 17 points over Denny Hamlin coming into today's race. Then you have William Byron, who is 19 points behind the playoff cut line. And then you got to go all the way down to Ryan Newman, who is 30 points behind the playoff cut line, and Kurt Busch is 42 points back. So for Newman and Busch, they're likely in a must-win situation unless something crazy happens points-wise for them to point their way in. Drivers who are also barely above the cutoff line, we already mentioned that Alex Bowman is 17 points above the playoff cut line. Joey Logano is only one extra point above him than that. Logano is 18 points above the cutoff line. Christopher Bell currently sitting above the cutoff line, so is Kevin Harvick. Currently, right now, Kevin Harvick is sitting 28 points to the good. Christopher Bell, 29 points to the good. And then you got a guy in there like Brad Keselowski, who is 34 points to the good, so he's looking pretty well also so far. Martin Truex Jr., who is the number 3 right now on the list, and he is sitting 46 points above the playoff cutoff line, and Kyle Busch is almost mathematically locked in on points as it is, as Kyle Busch currently sits 58 points above the cutoff line. So if Kyle Busch can just score 2 points here today in these first couple stages, he can mathematically clinch himself in. Truex, if he can just score 16 points in stages today, he won't even have to fight for anything in the final stage as well. Did I get eliminated, or am I still in it to win it? Still in it to win it. Again, we won at Las Vegas, so Ryan Blaney still has a shot at the championship. He's already locked into the round of 8. He's the only driver locked in. We have 7 spots to also lock up here today. So without further ado, this race is about to begin. Tyler Reddick going to be starting at the rear in today's race. So is Josh Bilicki and Martin Truex Jr. We just talked about him. Truex, one of the playoff drivers, also starting at the rear of the field. Luckily for him, he's 46 points to the good. But here we go. The green flag is in the air. We're underway at the Charlotte Roval. 25 laps in stage 1. As Blaney leads them into the Tums Hartburn turn. Ricky Stenhouse running that pink breast cancer awareness Kroger paint scheme here today. He had a great qualifying effort, qualified 3rd. Eric Almirola, the Talladega winner in the last race, came in with a good qualifying position as well, qualified 2nd. He looked really strong at Watkins Glen earlier this season. Had a top 5 run there, and our road course winners so far this year, Ryan Blaney won at Sonoma and Chase Elliott won at Watkins Glen. Blaney, if you remember, led every single lap of that race. I'm not sure that that's going to happen today. You never know, but we'll see. Wow. Blaney trying to break a little early, and Stenhouse definitely outbroke Blaney into that backstretch chicane. Got alongside of him, but he couldn't pass him. It's going to be tough to pass that driver with the clean air, unless it's on the restarts. Almirola almost snuck by Stenhouse as well when Stenhouse failed to make the pass on Blaney. Just really got to hit your marks. Stay consistent. Joshua White, welcome to the stream. Stenhouse looking low off the exit of turn 1. Blaney with a block into turn 2. That really checks Stenhouse up, and Almirola again is all over his back bumper. Kurt Busch in 4th place right now. Kevin Harvick rounds out the top 5 midway through the 2nd lap of the race here early in stage 1. For Kurt Busch, he comes in 42 points below the playoff cut line. He is currently last of the 12 drivers still in, again, cutoff race. He might be in a must-win situation today, unless he gets a lot of help with also having as good of a day as what he's off to in the start of today's race. We'll see if he can maybe keep it going. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Saw how inconsistent Dale Jr. was in the Xfinity race, both with the front stretch and the back stretch chicane. There were some moments, it seemed like he was either the best getting through there or he just didn't get through there well at all. Having the clean air advantage for Ryan Blaney right now is a huge advantage after qualifying on the pole. Again, Dale Jr. only led 3 laps that entire Xfinity Series race, and we have seen Blaney lead the first 2 already today. So there's track position that Jr. basically didn't have the entire race on Tuesday. Or sorry, not Tuesday. I keep saying Tuesday. I meant Thursday. I've said Tuesday a couple times already. I never corrected myself. We ran that race on Thursday. I think Tuesday was the Talladega race. Maybe that's what I was referring to, or thinking in my head of referring to. "100% races is tough. It's definitely not for everybody. I can guarantee that. You definitely have to have the patience throughout the course of the race. It's hard. I mean, you guys, I feel like I get a lot of, like, I know you guys don't necessarily mean it, but I get a lot of, like, comments and crap about, like, DNFing a lot, but I don't think you guys realize doing this many full race live streams, I feel like you're bound, or this many full races in NASCAR video games, no matter what game it is, you're bound to DNF so many times. That's what makes the 2004 NASCAR Thunder 04 series so difficult, is that it's a season-long championship and doing the full races. I DNF'd out of, what, 12 or 13 races in Season 1? Like, that's just not going to win the championship. And we've already DNF'd out of 4 in Season 2. It's just really tough. All it takes is one little mistake, and you can hit head-on into the outside wall, day's over, especially if you get piled in from other drivers. Sage Castillo, welcome to the stream. Blaney's still leading here on lap 4. Again, these first 2 stages are going to fly by. They're each 25 laps. And then the final stage of the race is going to be 59 laps in today's race. Again, 109 laps total distance. Oh, Stenhouse just lost second place to Almirola. Well, is he going to clear him? Yes, he does. So Stenhouse drove it in deep into the backstretch chicane again. With doing that, he couldn't get alongside Blaney. And now Almirola's going for the lead into the front stretch chicane. There's a little contact, mainly because of how tight it is to get through there. Almirola makes a pass for second. Now he's trying to make a pass on the outside for the lead on Blaney. He couldn't do it, and Stenhouse is going to get back underneath him now as they're side by side again for second place. Into turns 2 and 3. Almirola going to have the advantage in 3 and 4 on the bottom of the track. Stenhouse still trying to fight, and he'll have to retreat as Almirola hangs on to second. So great move in the backstretch chicane for Almirola to make a pass on Stenhouse. It's so hard to pass on the front stretch chicane, so tight. And I think Almirola had it if it wasn't for the contact between the two cars. There was just no room to race side by side there. That's why they made contact. Blaney's been really checking up a lot on corner entry into that backstretch chicane and trying to maybe get back to the gas a little earlier, helping him with this speed through oval turns 3 and 4. And it seemed to be working in the Xfinity race a lot. It seems to be working early in this race. Now, we don't know if that's going to work in dirty air. But we'll wait and see as this race progresses. We only saw one caution in the Xfinity race as well for incident, and it was on lap 5, where Austin Cindric, who was leading at the time, blew an engine. Hopefully we don't see that with another Penske driver leading the race on lap 5 here today. I guess we're on lap 6 already, but still. Because right now, that would be us running as Ryan Blaney. Ralph Carlo 117, welcome to the stream. Almirola again looking high as they get into oval 1 and 2. Top three are pulling away. Kurt Busch might be holding up Kevin Harvick and company behind him in fourth place because they've been consistently 4 seconds and retreating back lap after lap from one another as Almirola's all over the back of Blaney's car right there. We saw one penalty as well in the Xfinity race for Dale Jr. It was missing the backstretch chicane, and that was early in stage 2 when that happened. So Blaney's going to try not to make any mistakes here today. And Almirola looks really, really fast here. Stenhouse looked fast when he was in second, but Almirola's been putting a ton more pressure on Blaney since he moved into that second position a few laps ago compared to what Stenhouse was putting on him. That'd be pretty impressive if Almirola could go back-to-back on 2 completely different racetracks, too. One super speedway and then a road course. Oh, that was another big bounce off the curb, and that made Almirola run into the back of Blaney. And after Almirola ran into the back of Blaney, Blaney went wide. Almirola tried to pass him on the outside. And the initial contact led to the contact at the exit of the chicane. It all started when Blaney bounced off the curb and just bounced right in front of Almirola. And Eric got the worst end of it. Not that he has a lot of damage, neither does Blaney, but it allowed Stenhouse to get right back to second place again. Oh, Stenhouse again looking to make a pass. They almost made contact. This is just one of the tighter road courses, if not the tightest road course on the NASCAR circuit. Though, despite how tight it is, it's got a few passing lanes on the racetrack. As Almirola back to the inside of Stenhouse. And Almirola's back to second place again. This was after Stenhouse tried to make an attempt to pass Blaney for the lead in Oval 1 and 2. He couldn't do it. Blaney trying to get away. I don't think he's really going to. Kevin Harvick, meanwhile, up to fourth place, finally able to get around Kurt Busch. Still 17 laps to go in stage 1. We are extremely close, indeed. 700 subs. So everybody watching right now, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Also, I was just looking today at the analytics on my YouTube channel, and over the last 90 days, but it was the same for 90 days and 28 days within that stretch, but over half the people that have watched the videos or streams over the last 90 days are not subscribed to the channel. 52% are not subscribed, only 48% were. So again, we're getting the views back, I've noticed, over the last month or so, but you guys aren't subscribing when you're watching, so that helps me out a ton more than anything else could, is hitting that subscribe button, then watching the videos. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. More daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast every day. There's a little bit more contact, meanwhile, off the exit of the backstretch chicane again. Oh, Stenhouse almost slid into Almirola on the exit of the front stretch chicane as Blaney, meanwhile, holds on to the lead. Almirola hangs on to second on Stenhouse. Fends him off on the outside. Definitely seen a lot of jockeying for position in the first for the first three positions in this race. And Kevin Harvick is closing that gap. Once he got around Kurt Busch, Remember, he was about 4 to 4.5 seconds off the lead. Now he's like 3 seconds off the lead and closing. So Harvick looks really fast today as well. He also looked quick in qualifying as he qualified in the top 5. As did everybody else that is running in the top 5 right now. The positions have changed among them a few times, but they're all still running up towards the front. I don't have a least favorite NASCAR driver. I don't root against anybody. When I was younger, it was a little different. I guess I did. I was kind of like an anti-Busch fan, but I appreciate the talent that they withhold on the racetrack. Between that and actually, seeing Kyle Busch, away from the sport of NASCAR and how good of a father he is definitely helps as well. If you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel or keep up with it at all, it's worth it. I don't really watch his videos all the time, but most of it's for Braxton and his racing career, so his young racing career. So that's pretty cool to watch. See how Kyle teaches him through it. I'm rolling, taking a peek. Couldn't get there that time. Stenhouse back underneath him again. And Stenhouse to second place. Good pass by Ricky. Pretty good line of lap traffic coming up in the next couple laps, if not sooner. Still caution free here today at the Charlotte Roval. Harvick is again closing that gap. He's 2 seconds off the lead now, and if he can pass just as well as Almirola and Stenhouse have passed each other, that could be pretty big. The best opportunity for somebody to take the lead is likely going to be on restarts and lap traffic when Blaney loses that clean air advantage. Blaney has just caught lap traffic now off of turn 4, going into turn 5 in the infield portion of the racetrack. And as he's trying to get around these guys, he's got company from behind once again as Stenhouse is right there. Trying to follow him on the outside to get around the lap cars. Blaney maybe taking the longest way around. Stenhouse, though, seeing it's working out, at least with the slower lap cars on the bottom. Wow, Blaney coming in hot. Trying to outbrake Quinn Houff and making sure he was going to clear him before they got into the set of corners in the backstretch chicane. Brody Johnson, welcome to the stream. Billy Kramer, welcome also. So once Blaney catches Timmy Hill, who's the next lap car ahead of him, he's got a little bit of a break before the next lap car. Who's better, Hamlin or Chase? I think Elliott's probably got the most potential, especially already having a championship in his career, but the accolades that Hamlin holds and the longevity of his career, I don't think you can really argue that. I mean, it's really close, I guess. It is a good argument, but I'd say Hamlin's probably better. Statistically, at least. But I'll tell you what, you give Chase Elliott another 2 or 3 years, if he can keep winning as much as he has the last 2 or 3 seasons, then, I mean, you can pretty much say that Elliott would be better. Well, then again, you got to look at Hamlin, too. If he ends up winning 6 or 7 races again the next 2 seasons each, then I guess Hamlin would still kind of stay above him in that echelon, especially if Hamlin can get a championship in the next couple of years. But you got to assume that window's closing for Denny to get that first career title. I don't think he's going to have too many more opportunities left. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. Well, yeah, he had 3 chances to win it. 3 chances to win the championship, mathematically going into the final race of the season. But the guy's won 3 Daytona 500. He's won 3 of the last 5 Daytona 500s. He's won the Southern 500 2 times. He almost won the Brickyard 400 a couple times. He's got passed within the last few laps. This year, unfortunately, he blew a tire in the last few laps of the race. And then back in 2018, Keselowski stole the win from him there. He's won a couple Bristol night races too, so he's won a lot of prestigious races. He's won a lot of big races. And he's won a lot of races in general because he's got, over 40 career wins now? That's quite a few. I mean, that's top 20, top 15 all time? I don't know exactly where he ranks on the list, but I know he's up there in the top 20 for sure. Not many drivers that have 40 career wins in NASCAR. Oh, Blaney thought about trying to outrun McDowell into the front stretch chicane, thought better of it. Beats him back to the gas, he'll get around him on the outside there. Now cuts to the inside of Cole Custer, and this lap traffic is starting to hold Blaney up a little bit more. Look at how bad Brad Keselowski is running. I've noticed he's been running really poorly on the road courses this season. And Keselowski is currently sitting in 32nd. Now he comes in 35 points above the playoff cut line. So he is not completely comfortable. If we see those guys below the cutoff line, like you're seeing Kurt Busch already up in the top 5, maybe score a lot of stage points and get a good finish, as well as maybe even William Byron, who's a lot closer to the playoff cut line as well, score those kinds of points as well here today. Keselowski could be in danger of missing the round of 8. Wouldn't that be something? Another upset, perhaps, on the season. We didn't really see any upsets in the round of 16. Well, I guess Chase Elliott was eliminated. Never mind. We saw an upset in the round of 16. Chase Elliott got eliminated, but that was pretty much it. Keselowski would definitely be a big one. That's for sure. Elijah Ladote, welcome to the stream. Ashton G, welcome also. Tim Lambert, welcome everybody. A lot of new faces, well, not new faces, but a lot of new faces to today's chat coming in. But thanks for watching. 18 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in here on a Saturday evening. Charlotte Roval, Kevin Harvick has just worked his way up to second. He's about 3 seconds off the lead. Blaney's led every lap so far early in stage 1. I should say past halfway through stage 1. It's only 25 laps. We'll have 9 to go this time by. It's still caution-free today as well. So we're in the midst of lap traffic. For everybody watching right now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Again, we are extremely close to not only 700, but still on the road to 1,000 subs. My goal is to get there by the 1-year anniversary of doing the daily full race NASCAR, full race live stream / NASCAR content on the channel. It would be the weekend after the Daytona 500 this year, because the 500 was ran a weekend later last year than what it's going to be this year in 2021. When he hustled to get around David Reagan there. Wanted to make sure he beat him before he got into turn 1, knowing he was on his outside. Wyatt Hanson, welcome to the stream as well. And also, yes, hit that like button as well. 10 likes right now, 19 people watching. But again, thanks for everybody tuning in, and hopefully you're having a happy new year up to this point as well. Harvick is starting to close in on Ryan Blaney once again. He was about 3 to 3.5 seconds off the lead. Harvick is trying to get around David Reagan right now, and Reagan is holding him up. But the lead is down to 2.5 seconds. A little bit of a gap before the next set of lap cars for Blaney to catch, but Harvick looks really fast. Eric Almirola, he's back to 5th. He looked fast until lap traffic came about. And now he's starting to fade, and Joey Logano has peaked into the top 5 now for the first time today, knocking Kurt Busch out of the top 5. Tyler Burbeck, welcome to the stream. Yes, there is going to be enough fuel. There will not have to be a pit stop at all in Stage 1 or Stage 2. These guys are going to pit at the stage break. I'd have to imagine at the end of Stage 1. Tires should be good to go to the end of the stage as well. That right front's at about 48% on Blaney's car. Left front at about 58%. Line of about 5 cars, lap cars that is, right in front of Blaney. They'll probably catch them going into the front stretch chicane if I had to guess. So we'll see how much time Harvick can gain there. There's currently no more lap cars between the top two, but there is 2.5 seconds between them both. Blaney coming in hot into that backstretch chicane. About ran into the back of Bobby Carter. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get that car to slow down in time. My goodness. Blaney to the outside of Carter. Of course, Clint Boyer's back here as well. He's actually typically a pretty solid road course racer, but not today. Boyer missed even the 16-man playoff field on this second season of NASCAR Heat 5. Oh, Boyer in the wall, and he about takes out the leader as well. Tire down. Oh, head on. Hard crash for Clint Boyer. A hard crash head on into the outside wall into oval turn 1. He blew a tire and hit the wall initially, ricocheted back into Blaney's right rear. That almost turned Blaney right around. No caution. And Boyer then hit the wall head on. Could not get that car to turn. Somehow no yellow. Harvick and Stenhouse have now caught Blaney because of it. They're 3 wide going into the front stretch chicane for second place with a lap car in between them of Josh Bilicki. 6 to go, stage 1. Meanwhile, Blaney trying to get away as he laps Matt Kenseth. And again, we stay green. Now, there is relaxed yellows on for the road course races. And because that was a single car accident, that is likely why there was no caution. But it very well could have been multiple cars with the leaders right in front of Boyer when that happened. And again, there was contact after Boyer blew his tire with the race leader of Ryan Blaney, but not enough to at least give Blaney damage, significant damage at least, nor wreck him as well, luckily. That could have been a pretty big hit to the race leader, who's led every lap up to this point. Emmett Stewart, welcome to the stream. And there's William Byron, who's below the playoff cutoff line, not having a great start to the day outside the top 20, and he's in danger of going a lap down. Another driver who typically runs well on the road courses, not running well here today. And he's actually got some good success. He's won a couple stages at the Roval. Actually ran well here earlier this season as well. Reddick got loose going into turn 1. Blaney going to make the pass on the outside. And William Byron in 26th. Going to go a lap down. Ralph Carlo, are you trying to tick me off? It takes a lot to tick me off. I mean, I think you're just saying stuff at this point. I did see your comment about Dale Jr. being overrated. I don't believe Dale Jr. is overrated. I think more people tend to think he was because he never won a championship. But you can't take it away from him that he does have 26 career wins, and he's won a lot of big races, much like Denny Hamlin, but Hamlin's even got, I mean, he's got almost twice as many wins as Dale Jr. in his career, and a shorter time frame, too. I don't think you can label Blaney as a bust, because he is at least winning a race every year. Yeah, I know he's not really like dominating races, and he still finished in the top 10 of the point standings the last 3 or 4 years too. By no means is he a bust. Is he underachieving? To a certain extent, yes. If he doesn't have a vast improvement, I really think there was improvement for Blaney this last year, but the luck wasn't on his side. He's going to need luck on his side next year, and he's going to have to improve. Even if he doesn't make the championship 4 necessarily next season, if he can just win 2 or 3 races next year, that's going to be a massive improvement to help him further in his career, because he's already 26, I want to believe, or I believe, and I think he'll be 27 next year. So I mean, he's still young, yes, but he's at that point now where it'll be what, his 6th full-time season? No, fifth full-time season next year. No, wait, 6. Sorry. Next year would be his 6th full-time season in the Cup Series, running all 36 races. So, I mean, at some point he's going to have to start winning more than 1 race a year, unless he runs 1 race a year and he's able to run well enough in the playoffs to, you know, make his way into the championship 4 and still have a shot there, which is possible. But I mean, it's been kind of proven since the stage racing format and the playoff point format that you can't. It's virtually impossible, at least in the Cup Series, to be able to actually get your way into the championship 4 with pretty much less than a win. You're just so far behind the 8 ball compared to other drivers that have multiple wins. By the way, that comment about Blaney didn't really tick me off. I was just asking the question if you were trying to get me to that point. No, I wasn't taking it seriously at all. Ryan Blaney's 27 now. Gotcha. Yeah, so he'll be 27 at the start of next season. I think he was 26 for most of last year, but you get the point. Mid to late 20s. He's still pretty young. He's not necessarily in his prime yet. As far as like a race car driver goes, usually your prime is like age 30 to probably 40, honestly. And then you start to see a decline in the early to mid 40s, usually from drivers. So, I mean, he is right there. I mean, he's close to his prime. We're really going to see, you know, if he's still got good equipment by then, how good he really is going to be. And for Chase Elliott, that just makes the future so bright for him because, I mean, he's not even in his prime yet, and he's already got a championship and 11 wins, so that's awesome. He's definitely looking like the next phenom in NASCAR. Two laps to go, meanwhile, in stage number 2, more like a lap and a half at this point. Martin Truex Jr., who has come from the rear of the field, another pretty solid road course racer, in danger of going a lap down in stage 1, though the track position didn't help him out. Starting 38th today, again had to drop to the back after failing pre-race inspection. He is 46 points above the cutoff line, so realistically, if we don't get another winner below the cutoff line, even him running around 20th today, he should easily be able to point his way in to that round of 8, and then he'll obviously still have a shot at the championship going forward. Ethan, welcome to the stream. White flag this time by for Ryan Blaney in stage number 1. Pretty big line of lap traffic coming up on the final lap of stage 1. Blaney's led every lap up to this point. Has really pulled away in lap traffic. He's 9.5 seconds ahead of Stenhouse, though it was a pretty close battle up until lap traffic. And even in the midst of lap traffic originally there, oh, there's a little contact. Blaney bounced off the curb right into the 49 of Fincham. He hustled by Martin Truex Jr., and now Truex is a lap down. Truex have maybe a shot to get back around Blaney. If not, he's going to have to hold on to the free pass position. I believe John Hunter Nemechek is the next driver, or sorry, the last driver on the lead lap. So we'll see if Blaney's going to catch Nemechek. That could be a fast 19 car that's a lap down. If Blaney could put Nemechek a lap down. Yep, John Hunter's in 22nd right now, so if he goes a lap down, it looks like John Hunter will get the free pass and not Truex. So Blaney's going to hustle into this front stretch chicane to try and get around John Hunter. Trying to outbrake him. Oh, contact! Nemechek gets sideways and hangs onto it. Blaney wins stage 1. Nemechek will get the free pass. And Martin Truex Jr. going to start stage 2 a lap down. Kyle Button, welcome to the stream. Take a look at your Stage 1 results. Blaney with the Stage 1 win, followed by Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Joey Logano in the top 5. Then it's Denny Hamlin 6, Kurt Busch 7, Ty Dillon 8th. Good run for him so far today. Also good run for Daniel Suarez at 9th, and Ryan Newman rounds out the top 10. Newman scoring 1 point there, Kurt Busch scoring 4. They're both below the playoff cutoff line coming into today's race. So we'll keep an eye on them going forward for today's race. Logano came in 18 points to the good. He outscored everybody below the cutoff line. And Alex Bowman came in 17 points to the good. And so far, for Bowman, no stage points today, and he's currently 17th. I almost forgot the pit there. That was close. That was really close. Kevin Harvick will lead coming to the line here as he wins the race off pit road. Green flag back in the air, and that could be trouble for Blaney as he has lost the track position. Trying to get the restart on the outside. This is going to be tough. Side by side for the lead. Blaney sends it into the corner. Contact 3 wide for the lead. Logano to the inside now. Blaney shuts the door and he hangs on. What a restart from the outside of the front row. It's not over yet though. Logano's looking for the lead. He's looked really well on the road courses this season as well. He's looking good early on, finishing 5th in stage 1. Harvick kind of runs Logano a little wide, a lot cleaner pass than what Blaney made on Harvick. But nevertheless, Harvick is up to 2nd. Hamlin to 4th. Stenhouse fell on the restart back to 5th. Harvick looking to drive it in deep on Blaney. And I think he's going to get around him right here. It gets to the outside, but Harvick, a really bad wheel spin. It looked like he beat him back to the gas, but Blaney holds on, and now Logano to the inside of Harvick for 2nd. Blaney's led every green flag lap of today's race. The only caution laps ran were at the caution break at stage 1, but because his crew didn't win him the race off pit road, Harvick was able to lead a couple laps at the stage break. Ooh, wow, Blaney got loose there. Those tires did not hook up off the exit of that corner. Logano gains a little bit of time. Now trying to stay in Blaney's draft, perhaps, on the fastest portion of the racetrack. Saw the Xfinity cars hit about 165 going into the backstretch chicane. The Cup cars are hitting about 175 here today. The 750 horsepower package. And Logano closes the gap on Blaney in the backstretch chicane once again. Ready to go, stage 2. Matt Kenseth was eliminated in the round of 16. He made it because he won that second Pocono race. And Logano with a clean pass on his teammate Blaney. Kind of out of nowhere there in turn 4. He set him up in 3. Got a good corner entry to turn 4, and Joey Logano's going to take the lead for the first time today. See if he can maybe lead his first lap. Blaney's in the dirty air now for the first time today. And the car's already tighter. Look at how much wider he was running compared to before in these corners. That was a great pass by Logano. Kind of snuck up on Blaney when he wasn't expecting a pass there in turn 3. Logano had a pretty big wheel hop, and Blaney gains a lot of ground there in the backstretch chicane once again. Corner cutting. Hey, if it doesn't give me a penalty, it does give you penalties in this game. They're very inconsistent, though. It seems like sometimes they give it to you when you shouldn't deserve it. Sometimes they don't give it to you when you do deserve it. If you can hook the curbing just right, you can kind of cut the corner in this game. And you need all the speed that you can scrub off. So, if it means I'm not getting a penalty for going through there. Obviously, we missed it. We missed the corner, the backstretch chicane completely in the Xfinity race. So, it is possible to get a penalty for doing what I'm doing. But you have to really overrun it to do it. It's a little more lenient in Heat 5 compared to what it was in Heat 3 and Heat 4, that's for sure. Darren Dill, welcome to the stream. Look at how much better Logano is on the oval portion of the racetrack even. He is pulling away from Ryan Blaney. Harvick's still trying to get around Blaney for second. Blaney's pushing really hard right now, but that car has gotten extremely tight behind Logano. Blaney pushing really hard into that front stretch chicane. Look at how much time he gained on Logano right there. That was his fastest lap of the race. He hasn't ran as fast as what he did in qualifying up to this point, but look at how much time Ryan Blaney was able to gain there as he continues to close the gap into turn 3. Blaney, oh, contact with his teammate Logano. He couldn't clear him. Joey got a little side draft, and then Blaney ran him up the track just a little bit, but he will take the lead regardless. In the same spot that Logano took the lead away from him a couple laps prior. Harvick is, or sorry, not Harvick, Kenseth is not a bust by any means. Cup Series champion in 2003, 39 career wins. Two-time Daytona 500 winner. He is not a bust. Far from it. It's hard to really label a bust in NASCAR. If you win 10 races in a NASCAR career, that is good. And yes, you guys might not seem like 10 wins is a lot, but there are not many drivers that have 10 wins in their career, considering the sport is almost 80 years old. Logano got to the outside of Blaney, almost took it. Oh, Stenhouse about took Harvick and Logano 3 wide for second. If he would have did that, I don't think they would have even made it through the front stretch chicane. Now they're 2 by 2. Logano, Harvick side by side for second. Meanwhile, Stenhouse and Almirola right behind him are also side by side. Great battle between the top 5 going on here at the Roval. Great race up to this point here today. The action basically is picked off from the Xfinity race a couple days ago at this very racetrack. Logano again gaining time all over the back of Blaney. Logano seems the fastest on the oval portion of the racetrack. Oh, wow. Blaney went in there really wide, bounces off the curbs horribly, and Logano takes the lead again. And Harvick just about jumped up to second. I don't know how Blaney was able to keep it off Logano, bouncing off the curbs as drastically as he did. Logano was able to take the lead. Blaney gains so much time when he hits that front stretch chicane perfectly. Again, he lost so much time in the back stretch chicane. Gains it all back right there. And now into the Tums Heartburn turn. He's all of a sudden right behind Logano again. Well, until that little mistake at least. Off the exit of turn 2. It's going to cost him a little time. I don't think you can really decide who is a bust and who isn't until their career is over, to be completely honest. Like, look at Martin Truex Jr., how late in his career it started before he started winning races. Sterling Marlin. It took him 10 years to win his first race, and then all of a sudden he's a 2-time Daytona 500 champion. He's got 10 career wins. He almost won the championship in 2002. So even though Marlin's only got 10 wins in his career, he had a solid, long career. Greg Biffle, Casey Kane, a couple drivers that have less than 20 wins as well, but they had pretty solid careers. One way or another. Yeah, if you have 10 wins in a NASCAR Cup Series career, by no means is that a bust. And even some drivers with less than 10 wins aren't considered a bust. Marlin was a great driver for his time. I feel like not a lot of people talk about him. Logano has just been pulling away from Ryan Blaney. Harvick still trying to put pressure on Blaney for second. Well, not right there. Blaney pulled him in the backstretch chicane. I think where you're really seeing that 22 car take off here today is on the oval portion of the racetrack. It just seems like his straightaway speed is so much better than everybody else's. Now we'll have to see if that continues into lap traffic at all. Blaney just ran his fastest lap of the race that last lap as well. Yeah, without restrictor plates or anything restricting the speed that the Cup cars get on the Daytona road course, I mean, they would be going way too fast entering turn 1 and through the tri-oval. It's not so much like on the long runs, it's more for like the bunched together restarts, especially with them having double file restarts. Like, they're so congested together for about the first 5 laps that if they were going those kinds of speeds, I mean, it would be way too fast. I mean, we've seen bad accidents at Daytona with 200-mile-an-hour speeds, 200-plus mile-an-hour speeds. Just imagine them going like 220, 225 through there. Through the, slight banking that the tri-oval has compared to like a standard corner at Daytona. Yeah, they kind of need that second chicane. It's not like, sports cars. They get a lot better draft of a stock car. I don't know if I'd necessarily go out there and say Austin Dillon's a great driver, at least right now, but I think he's a really good driver. I think people tend to forget how good of a career he had in the Xfinity and Truck Series, too. Yeah, he's kind of been a little bit underwhelming in the Cup Series as far as like win total goes, but you know, one way or another, I know obviously some people like to say that he won the Daytona 500, you know, dirty in 2018, which, you know, one way or another, he still won the race. I'm not saying every driver would have done what he did, but he wouldn't have been the only driver that did what he did to win the 500. You never know if that's going to be your only opportunity to ever win that kind of a race. So the wherewithal to do that, it's tough to blame the guy if you put yourself in issues for something like that. But anyway, one way or another, you win the race, and he's got a couple crown jewels to his name. I'd say he's a really good driver. I wouldn't put him like great. Like, when I think of like great drivers, I feel like you have to be like a 4 to 5 star caliber driver. I think Austin Dillon's like a 3.5. Like, I don't think he's like there yet. Now, granted, also RCR isn't, you know, like they used to be speed wise either. What a pass! Well, hang on, let's just take a second to. Man, I'm speechless after that. What a pass for the lead. First of all, Blaney caught Logano in the lap traffic. There were about 4 lap cars in Logano's way. And Quinn Houff was in the middle. Logano was on the inside. And what a pass by Logano, getting Blaney right back. But Blaney beats him back to the gas and gets right back around him. What a battle for the lead between the two Penske Fords right now. Logano again fighting back. So a 3-wide pass for the lead in the backstretch chicane for Blaney. Then Logano gets him back in the front stretch chicane for Blaney to pass him back going into turn 1. And now Logano's all over his back bumper off of turn 3 looking for the lead again. Oh! Blaney into the wall and into Fincham, and Logano's back in the lead. Blaney clipped the inside wall, and after he hit the wall, he bounced right up into Fincham. And that costed Blaney a lot of time, and Logano's again back out in front. That was a good transition there, that last half a lap between Logano and Blaney, up until the mistake Blaney made. He got the corner way too deep. Poor Fincher being in the wrong place at the wrong time there. Look at how fast Blaney's cutting the backstretch chicane, and he puts his teammate in the wall. Accidentally, of course, but he still put him in the wall one way or another. These guys are fighting for a playoff point. That will carry over into the next round. Again, we only got 10 to go in stage 2. Blaney to the outside of Logano into turn 1. And again, Blaney makes a move on the outside to take the lead away from his teammate. Second lap in a row, he passed Logano on the outside into turn 1. That is impressive. Blaney keeps running really wide in that corner, and now Logano gets back underneath him. Heck of a battle for the lead. Joey throws the block. Lap car's going to be in the way. Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick is up here, and I believe Timmy Hill. Sorry, no, that's Keselowski. Logano caught behind Wallace. Blaney makes the move, and he takes the lead again. Trying to outbrake Timmy Hill now into the backstretch chicane. Oh! Blaney got sideways. Now Hill gets sideways. Logano bangs his way through. And Logano's getting a good run in the draft. Well, which teammate is Keselowski going to help out here? Is he going to help Blaney, or is he going to help Logano? Blaney trying to get to his outside into turn 1. And he clears him before he even gets into the corner. I think he let him go once they got alongside each other. And I'm sure he'll let Logano go as well. But he's not letting him go right now, as Blaney is out to about a 1-second lead all of a sudden. Keselowski's really holding up Joey Logano. Guys in the chat keep spamming turn Joey. I'm not gonna just wreck someone intentionally. Especially midway through the race. They have to earn me actually spinning them out. Logano's raced me pretty clean for the most part. I've accidentally ran into him like 2 or 3 times already. But he's definitely raced me clean. Is it really deserved, I guess. The chat is ruthless. Yes, it is. Got a riot going on in the chat right now. Logano's been really fast, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he catches Blaney back again. Keselowski, I'm surprised he let Blaney go, and then he just kind of held Logano up for about a half a lap. 8 to go, stage 2. How about this? Still caution-free today. Only driver out of the race is Clint Boyer. Of course, we saw him have that accident that did not bring out a caution late in stage 1. Blowing a tire, almost took out the race leader Blaney at the time as well. You got to get around Michael McDowell and now Cole Custer. Ooh, Custer almost got right back into his back bumper. Logano's hustling. Now he's got to get around Custer and McDowell. He's not getting around him yet. Mistake there on the front stretch chicane. That was kind of a similar mistake to what Blaney made on his pole lap in qualifying. Ran it so good through the front stretch chicane, he got back to the gas just a tad too soon, hit the wall, but it was still his fastest lap of qualifying. He still hasn't even ran that fast of a lap in the race yet. It's been close. Fastest lap ever for me around the Charlotte Roval. As well in the Cup Series as a 1:16 lap time. We haven't ran that fast yet this race weekend. Oh, man. Ricochets there off the curbing. Notice, by the way, we're running the same paint scheme that Blaney won the Roval with a couple years ago. I purposely did that, by the way. I failed to mention that up to this point, but that would be why I'm running this Pennzoil paint scheme. Big wheel spin there. 6 laps to go in the stage. Logano's 3.5 seconds off the lead. Almirola's in third, by the way, once again. Harvick fourth, and Denny Hamlin rounds out the top 5. Ralph Carlo with the bombshell of the chat, the overhype of the chat here today. Side-by-side action going on up ahead with those lap cars as well. Last car on the lead lap is John Hunter Nemechek. Remember, he got the free pass under the last caution, too. Boyer is actually back out on the racetrack, but he's running 35th, at least 2 laps down right now. I'm surprised they got that car fixed. So now we got to wonder who is out of the race then. If Boyer's back out on the racetrack, I thought he was the one out. I guess not. Going to the back of Byron. Byron 2 laps down, and his championship hopes could be over by the end of the day. I mean, he's likely in a must-win situation with scoring 0 stage points today. And now being 2 laps down, it's going to be tough for him to point his way if he doesn't get a ton of help. And now Nemechek's trying to do whatever he can right now to hold on. 3 wide pass there for Blaney to get around Kenseth and Nemechek back onto the oval portion of the racetrack. So by putting Nemechek a lap down, he is now in the free pass position, just like he was in stage 1. That means guys like Byron, well, Byron's 2 laps down now, I guess. So is Keselowski. He's 2 laps down. But Martin Truex Jr., for instance, 1 lap down in the playoffs. And he'll be trapped a lap down to the end of stage 2. All because he had to start at the rear of the field. Four to go now in stage 2. I think Heat 4 is a better game too, and it's simply because of the glitching, honestly. Like Heat 5, if it didn't have any glitches, it might be just a tad bit better. Given, you know, some of the newer features that they... Not a lot of new features, obviously, but there are some newer features. Like with the custom schedules and stuff like that. I do think the DNF is a fun addition, at least for the full race live streams that I do. It makes it, you know, a little bit better because it forces you to have to run a lot cleaner. How about Eric Almirola? He ran down Joey Logano, who has lost a lot of time to Blaney in the lap traffic over the last 5 or 6 laps. Harvick is not too far behind as well in 4th. But Almirola up to 2nd. No pressure for Blaney. Already won stage 1, looking to maybe get his 2nd stage win of the day. He's got 3 more laps to do it. Oh! Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it wasn't for NASCAR Heat 5 being buggy, I'd say it's a very, very slight improvement on Heat 4. It just seems like this series of games like very, very barely improves from game to game up until Heat 4 to Heat 5, and again, it's because it's buggy. I mean, you guys have seen it time. I should, in no way, should I have to do the points myself in a 2020 NASCAR video game. In no way should I have to calculate the points for all 3 series myself, but because the game gets it wrong, I have to do it. Why does it get it wrong? Because it just simply crashes, and it doesn't calculate stage points if you DNF. So if you have stages on, you're racing with stages and you DNF, it doesn't even calculate that, so I have to calculate those too. Well, caution's out for the first time today, ladies and gentlemen, for incident at least, as stage 2 will come to an end a few laps early. I'm not sure who brought the caution out exactly, but caution is out. So we'll see pit stops once again under the stage break. John Hunter Nemechek gets the free pass in 22nd. He'll get back on the lead lap. David Reagan is the only driver out of the race right now, and whoever brought out that first caution of the day, so Blaney will win the first 2 stages. Almirola wins the race off pit road. Ryan Blaney's pit crew has not been on it today. They have lost 1 spot on pit road under each of the first 2 stops so far. Green flag is back in the air. Almirola leads the field to the green. Harvick's crew lost a lot of spots on pit road. Blaney into the Tums Hartburn turn wall. He overran it. He pulled a Chase Elliott / Brad Keselowski and just overran the Tums Hartburn turn on the restart. Almirola takes the lead. Blaney back to about 7th or 8th in traffic. Logano lost a lot of spots on pit road too. And Blaney's car has severe damage. Unbelievable. I can't believe I did that. was wondering if we were going to ever see that. I don't think I've ever done that in this game. Tried to make it. Just started braking a hair too late, and just at that point he locked the tires up and couldn't get the car to turn. And now Blaney is not only back in traffic, but again, he's got a damaged race car. Can it be repaired is a good question. If it is more than 5 seconds of damage, it cannot be repaired. But Blaney can't afford to pit right here and lose his track position. He's got to stay out of the pits knowing that everybody just pitted at the stage break. We still have about half the race to go. We have 57 to go currently. So it definitely can be repairable if it's 5 seconds or less of damage. We'll have to see. That just looks like pretty heavy damage, though. I don't know. And now the temperature is starting to get a little hot on that 12 car, and that's not good either. Definitely going to have to monitor that. If it starts to get too hot, he's going to have to bring it to pit road. Take some tape off of it. I mean, that's the worst case scenario. If it gets too hot, we can't repair the damage. We're just going to take all the tape off of it to keep it from overheating, at least not blow the engine. Blaney hit the wall. He didn't necessarily hit it head on, which would have obviously been bad, but he hit it hard enough at the right front that obviously gave him enough damage because he's still in the top 10. He's still running. If he would have hit it head on, he probably would have DNF'd, so he's very fortunate for that. But boy, he couldn't get the car to turn there just simply because he overran the corner. So we're going to alternate to the different camera angles now for the first time today. As long as the oil temperatures don't get to 270, Blaney will be all right. Ryan Newman trying to make a pass for position on him. On the outside, that's going to be tough for Newman. And Blaney holds on. And now Kyle Busch to the inside of Newman. Newman has to outscore Alex Bowman by 28 points today. That means he has to beat him by 26 positions. They're both on the lead lap right now, and there's only 22 cars on the lead lap. So already that's not looking likely considering that Newman only has 4 stage points today. So that means he'd have to beat Bowman by 24 spots. So Ryan Newman likely in a must-win situation. So if Newman's in a must-win situation, Kurt Busch is likely in a must-win situation. He scored even more stage points, but he was 42 points behind instead of Newman's 28. So it's definitely not looking good for those guys. That is for certain. I keep cutting the backstretch chicane. I'm not getting penalized for it, though. I have 2 tires on the curbing. That's maybe, I mean, for NASCAR's purpose, I think you have to have, well, the rule is you have to have 2 tires inside the chicane, but in this game, if you have 2 of them on the curbing, it doesn't cause a penalty. Or you can completely hop over the curbing if you hit it good enough, and that won't penalize you either. I'm playing within the rules of the game. So you can't fault me for that. You can't fault me for cutting corners if it's not going to give me a penalty for it. It will give me a penalty if I cut it too much, though. But Blaney can't even get this car to turn right now. He's going to have to loosen it. If he can't repair damage, he's going to have to loosen it up. Major adjustments likely coming to the race car. If that damage is not repairable. If it is repairable, then that's a different scenario. But man. Luckily, though, for Blaney, no penalties today, and now Logano gets to his inside. I'm really curious as to how Logano lost this many spots. He finished 3rd in Stage 1. He fell back to about 7th or 8th on the restart. He had a slow stop. Kevin Harvick had a slow stop, too. Blaney had a slow stop because he lost 1 position, and Just imagine that. If Blaney's crew would have won him the race off pit road and he could have restarted on the bottom, he probably would have never hit the wall and he'd probably still have the lead. But that was not the case for the driver that has pretty much dominated the race. It has been back and forth quite a bit between both Harvick, Blaney, and Logano, and even Almirola and Stenhouse in stage 1. Really tough to tell who's exactly got the fastest car, but Blaney probably doesn't have the fastest car anymore. Now, the good news is if we do decide to come to pit row, we won't fall a lap down. My goodness, that was a major hop off the curb. Think of a hop as we've seen today. And now Christopher Bell is closing in. How about the season Christopher Bell has had? He's locked up the Rookie of the Year, knowing he is the only driver in the playoffs that is a rookie. And he made his way to the round of 12. Not only he made his way to the round of 12, he has a very good chance to make it to the round of 8. He came into this race 28 points above the cutoff line. 0 stage points today, but he's running in the top 10. That is good enough for him to point his way in, knowing that those guys below the cutoff line aren't beating him by enough points here today. So how about that for Christopher Bell, ladies and gentlemen? He could be in the round of 8 with still a shot at the championship. He's got 2 wins this season in the Coke 600 and then the Food City 500 at Bristol as well. Bell's just having a standout rookie season here. Yeah, that's going to be the only saving grace here for Blaney with this damage if it is not repairable to the end of the race. Is going to be lap traffic. Because he has gotten through lap traffic pretty well for the most part here today. He struggled a little bit at the beginning of stage 2, but he picked it up towards the end of the stage to really pull out ahead to about a 7-second stage win. Eric Almirola is out in front right now, Kyle. And anybody else that is just tuning in, either for the first time or is just coming back to the stream. Almirola leads by quite a wide margin right now, really, that last restart. Not only Blaney made the mistake, but he kind of held up everybody on the outside behind him with making that mistake. And Almirola just took off on the inside. Looking back. Now, also, this damage happened because of that last restart. Blaney overran the Tums heartburn turn, ended up in the wall. Not head on, but he hit it hard enough with the right front that he's got pretty severe damage to the car. If he hit it head on, he'd probably be out of the race, to be completely honest. So luckily enough that didn't happen. But pretty significant damage to the right front. It is an uphill climb now for Ryan Blaney to try and win this race. But we saw him finish second with heavy damage at the end of stage 2 at Talladega. So he has willed a wrecked race car towards the front already. And he almost won the stage 2. He basically had the lead up until that off of turn 4. He lost it to Kyle Busch, and then they finished side by side at the line. Yeah, I mean, just look at the track map, how far ahead Almirola is compared to even the second place car. Saw Daniel Suarez in the top 5 on that restart. He was in 4th as his solid day continues. Not a playoff driver. He's been in the top 10 all day long. So good for him. The Tums heartburn turn is definitely tempting. Typically on restarts as well. 50 laps to go here at the Charlotte Roval. Just past halfway home here today. Blaney won the first 2 stages. A minor incident, well, it could be major, depending on what the implications are going forward in today's race for Ryan Blaney. But on that last restart, to start this final stage, Blaney overran the Tums Heartburn turn, hit the wall with the right front, heavy damage to his race car. Man, car was not shifting to second gear there. And that heavy damage has cost him just so much time right now. Nearly 20 seconds off the lead, by far the furthest he's been back. He hasn't been outside the top 3 all day up until right now, being in 7th place as well. And he's by far led the most laps. An uphill climb for sure. But we've come back from this kind of stuff before. I don't think we've ever come back to win a race with this kind of stuff before, but we've at least been able to salvage top 5s and top 10s. That's not going to really cut it for Blaney today. He's already locked into the round of 8, so he came into the day basically just fighting for stage wins and a race win to add more playoff points for the start of the round of 8. So far today, he's done a great job. He's won the first 2 stages. Now he just has to win the race to add 5 more points additionally to those 2 he's already gained. Because remember, that next round is the final round before the championship 4. The only time you can win it, yeah. Okay, that's fair. Chase Elliott did it, so I guess we can do it. Well, we're not Chase Elliott. But I typically run well on the road courses on NASCAR Heat 5. Typically. Blaney's going to have to figure out some sort of pit strategy to gain that track position, though. That's going to help him. If he can get to the lead and just hit his marks and have the right adjustment with the damaged race car, I think he can hang on to the lead. The problem is going to be the fact that he's got the dirty air right now. How's he going to gain 20 seconds of time if this goes green to the end? We've only had 1 caution per incident, and that was at the end of stage 2. Still not even sure what the wreck was for, because nobody got knocked out of the race after that incident. It was likely a multi-car spin that caused it, I'd have to imagine. The relaxed yellows. So we always run relaxed yellows on the road courses. Almirola's nowhere near lap traffic right now either. That's also got to be helping him. I guess he had a couple lap cars, but that was it. Just a couple, and he's gotten around him, and he's got another big gap for the next lap car. Man, look at that! That was about as perfect of a jump off the curb as you can get. I mean, not only we stuck the landing beautifully, but I mean, the car turned immediately afterwards. Usually it does that and you just get super tight, but I mean, it was able to turn even off the curving there. That was impressive. I don't think we can do that again if we tried. That was like a ramp. Meanwhile, Bell has, by the way, been stuck behind Blaney this whole time. A big power slide off the curving in turn 3. Another big power slide off the curving in turn 4. Bell just cannot get around Blaney right now. Blaney's hitting his marks about as well as he can with that damage. Blaney has won this race already before the inaugural Roval race in 2018. So he's got that kind of luck on his side as well with this same paint scheme, if you believe in luck. And good luck. And good luck charms. You'd have to assume that could be one of them. Bell's been putting a lot of pressure on Blaney, but he hasn't made a mistake since falling back to 7th on the restart. Suarez back to 6. Ryan Newman into the top 5. Don't count Ryan Newman out of this race, guys. Remember, if he wins, that will knock out Alex Bowman from the round of 8. And then you'll have Christopher Bell. I mean, just imagine this. Just imagine Christopher Bell and Ryan Newman in the round of 8. I don't think anybody expected that coming into the season. A lot of lap traffic coming up as well. And he just got around Quinn Houff. A little bit of a gap and then a lot heavier lap traffic again. There's a couple lead lap cars of Joey Logano and Daniel Suarez who are getting held back quite a bit right now. Joshua Rumsey, welcome to the stream. I wonder how much the curbing could be hurting the splitter with the damage already given as well. You wouldn't think it's helping it. Hustling around Justin Haley. Oh, man! Boy, he really cut that corner. That's not what he needs. He does not need any more damage, that's for sure. He wants that damage to be 5 seconds or less. And he's trying to get back into the top 5 as well. And there's Keselowski again. He has been holding up Logano quite a bit today. Blaney got into the back of Suarez accidentally there through turn 4. Blaney goes a little wide and Bell's going to take over the spot. No, maybe not. Looked like he was going to for a second. Couldn't get around him. Blaney 3 wide underneath Keselowski and Suarez. And Blaney clears Suarez for 6th. Good pass. Boy, Logano just does not look like the same compared to what he was in stage 2. And again, a lot of that is a slow pit stop and being back in traffic. I'm sure of it. Look at that. Blaney almost got around him for 5th. Boy, he really drove it in hard. Oh, wow, that was a dangerous situation in turn 1. Blaney had a huge hop off the curbing and almost hit the wall head on again in the Tums Harper turn, but that time it would have been the inside wall. Timmy Hill, meanwhile, is holding up both Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, and Blaney crowds Logano behind Hill. Logano with the crossover, 3 wide for a short moment. Oh, man, they're roughing each other up. Mainly because Blaney's car is so tight he can't get it to turn. Especially being side by side in these tight corners. But one way or another, he's up to 5th. And has willed this car back to the top 5. Lap traffic has helped, obviously. But even still, that is really impressive, all things considered. Joseph Ben, welcome to the stream. NRF, not a big Blaney fan, too. I've watched some of his videos. I don't think I've watched him on anything with Ryan Blaney, at least. XX Games, welcome to the stream as well. Back up to 17 people watching. Our race high today is 19 people watching at one point in time. We've consistently had about 14 to 19 this whole race as Logano tries to put the bumper to Blaney now. Blaney's kind of had it coming. These Penske guys have been known for racing each other aggressively, and both Logano and Blaney have raced each other aggressively all day. And how about Ryan Newman up to third as he got around Hamlin a couple laps ago. What a day for Ryan Newman. Oh, Blaney into the wall. Same way he hit it in qualifying, and now that's going to give Logano the 5th spot. Combination of a big hop off the curb, and again, that car's just really tight with the damage right now. I don't know how he kept it off the wall there. That was a close one. He stayed in the gas, too. Hamlin's only 4 seconds ahead of Blaney right now. I'd be shocked if this damage was 5 seconds or less, that we are actually able to repair it. I would be completely shocked. Logano caught behind Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer. Blaney trying to make a move to the outside. Logano still caught behind Custer. And Blaney makes the move, using Custer as a pick to get right back into the top 5 again. Quickly gets around Bubba Wallace now. 4 seconds still behind Hamlin. And Newman's now about 10 seconds ahead of where Blaney's at on the racetrack. And that lead is cut down. Blaney was about 22 seconds off the lead. It's under 16 now. I mean, he's pushing as hard as he can with a pretty much wrecked race car. The fact he's even running 5th right now is impressive of itself. So again, for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge Ryan Blaney supporter and a Ryan Blaney fan. I grew up going to sprint car races a lot when I was younger. And my favorite driver, by the way, I grew up and still live in Northwest Ohio. And there's a lot of dirt tracks in Northwest Ohio. Well, local, what is now Tony Stewart's All-Star Series. Before Tony Stewart owned it, it was still the All-Star Series. But anyway, Ryan Blaney's uncle, Ryan Blaney's uncle, Dale Blaney, Dave Blaney's brother, I believe younger brother, races sprint cars in Northwest Ohio. I think he still does to this day, but I don't think he races full-time anymore. Anyway, he was always my favorite driver when I was growing up as a kid. My grandparents would take me to the local dirt tracks probably about once a month, once every other week, it seemed like. Pretty much for most of my childhood until I started racing. Then when I was racing, I wasn't going as much, but we were still going. And he was always my favorite, so when Ryan was coming up through the NASCAR ranks, even though I was a Greg Biffle fan, my whole childhood, Blaney was going to be my guy when he got to the Cup Series. There was no doubt about it. So he got to the Cup Series, and obviously I was still a fan of his when he was running Xfinity and truck races too. Simply because of the name and because I was very familiar with it, locally. Most of his family grew up in Northwest Ohio, so that's kind of why I'm a huge Ryan Blaney fan for that reason. So, no sort of bandwagon jump. I have my solidified reason why I am a huge Ryan Blaney fan, and will be up until his retirement. But he's still really young, so I don't plan on that being anytime soon. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. 39 laps to go here at the Charlotte Roval. It is definitely getting down to crunch time. That is for certain. Blaney wants to short pit, but he doesn't want to short pit too early. You guys know the drill. I say it every time we go to a road course on NASCAR Heat 4 or 5. Those tires, when they get to 30% or below on tire wear, on these road courses, it's like driving on ice. So Blaney's likely going to pit as soon as it gets to that point. As soon as it just gets below 30%, Blaney's probably coming to pit road. That would be the great time to short pit, if he is going to short pit at all. Could also split the stage in half, but that means you would have to run 26 laps each. Or sorry, no, did my math wrong there. I've been doing my math wrong a lot lately. I pride myself on being very good at basic math, so I'm sorry for that. I think a lot of it is just working a lot and doing this, so I get my numbers flustered and mixed around from time to time, but usually I'm pretty accurate with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do the points myself. But I think it's pretty easy, so it's the only reason we kept with this season. That once I started it, I didn't want to just stop it until we finished, of course. And you guys enjoy it too, so you guys are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it usually, so it's been a fun season up to this point. We've had a lot of good races in NASCAR Heat 5 in general. You guys just saw, or maybe you haven't seen already, check out the couple of compilation videos, specifically the closest finishes video. I didn't make a single editing mistake in that, so I made a couple editing mistakes in the crash compilation video from 2020 that we had. The 50 worst crashes on the channel I compiled into that video, and then the 10 closest finishes I compiled into another video yesterday. So check those out if you haven't already, but I highly recommend the closest finish video because that's probably my best video I think I've ever done editing wise. So practice makes perfect after so long, and after the compilation video didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it to with the crashes, I wanted to make sure that that video was perfect, and it was. I took a second upload to do it because there was audio troubles on the first one. That wasn't my fault. For whatever reason, when it actually got uploaded to YouTube, like the audio was like delayed, so I didn't like that. I had to fix it, but once I fixed it, it was perfect. And there's Denny Hamlin there in 4th place. Blaney has caught him. I mean, what a run by Ryan Blaney right now. He is willing this wrecked race car to the front. Nemechek is kind of holding up Hamlin as well. Stenhouse and Newman running 2nd and 3rd right now, and they're only 3.5 seconds ahead of where Blaney's at on the track. Nemechek's holding up Blaney. A little contact with Nemechek, kind of self-cleared himself. Blaney gets through. Christopher George, welcome to the stream. Look at the set of corners there for Blaney as he closes the gap again on Hamlin. Stenhouse side by side with a lap car of William Byron. Newman was able to get around him for 2nd. Hamlin now to the back bumper of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Contact between Byron and Stenhouse, and then Hamlin gets hit from underneath by Blaney. Oh, wow, big wheel hop there by Blaney. Tries to keep it off Hamlin. Did a good job of keeping it off of him because, boy, that was close. Side by side for 4th, and Blaney's got the spot. Well, Hamlin fights back. Maybe he doesn't have it yet. Byron's holding Blaney up just a little bit. But now he's all clear. Ryan Blaney has willed this wrecked race car to 4th place here at the Charlotte Roval. And is only about 1.5 seconds behind the 3rd place car of Stenhouse. Stenhouse has a few lap cars coming up in the near future ahead of him. If this car could just be a little bit looser, I think it'd actually be alright considering how he's running with the damage. If the damage is not repairable under the pit stop, again, it's going to depend on how many seconds worth it is with our 5-second damage policy. Stenhouse is being held up big time right now. He's got 2 lap cars right in front of him of Bobby Carter, and I'm not sure who that other car is. And, boy, Blaney trying to get alongside Stenhouse, but Carter is holding both of those guys up so much right now. Blaney to the inside of Stenhouse onto oval 1 and 2. Trying to side draft him. He's trying not to make contact. Really wants to race clean and not damage that car anymore. Gonna try to make a move, and he traps him behind Bobby Carter. Into the back of LaJoie, and LaJoie goes around in the backstretch chicane. And now Blaney goes around, into the wall goes Blaney. He loses control too, and his day will come to an end. Man, what a drive he had up until that point too. Unbelievable. Damage to the front of his car, the contact with LaJoie. LaJoie spun out. Blaney tried to miss him, and when he missed him, he ran over the curbing with the right side of his race car, and after running over the curbing that time, it just took him straight to the outside wall. It didn't take much. Between the damage, the awkward hit off the curb trying to miss the spinning LaJoie, the combination of those couple things did not work out for Blaney, and his day will come to an end. An incredible drive just to get up to third with a wrecked race car with about 30 laps to go. They were about to near pit stops pretty soon because those tires were getting pretty old too, and I'm sure that probably factored into it as well. Unbelievable. Hate to see that happen. Just hate to see it. Man, that is definitely a tough one to swallow. That is for sure. We'll take a look at the unofficial results to today's race. And again, doing the points myself. So we're going to take you through a tough break there. David Reagan will finish last, so Blaney will finish 39th, but that is not the way you wanted to see things end. Matt DiBenedetto has just won a race. He's a pretty solid road course racer. He was on the lead lap all day, but he was never really contended for the win. That DNF kind of randomized the finishing order. And Matt DiBenedetto has just won his first career race here at the Charlotte Roval. So good for him. Matt DiBenedetto moving... Well, sorry, not moving on. I guess he didn't even make the playoffs, but... Man, oh man. DiBenedetto goes on to win. Did not expect that. Daniel Suarez second, Stenhouse third, followed by Logano fourth, and Ryan Newman rounds out the top five. Eric Almirola sixth, Denny Hamlin seventh, Christopher Bell eighth, Kevin Harvick ninth, and Kurt Busch rounds out the top 10. The four drivers that will be eliminated in this round of the playoffs will include Kurt Busch. Ryan Newman, I don't believe, was able to outscore Bowman. No, he was not by anywhere close. Newman put up a good fight. He was in the top three a lot late. He was actually in second at the time of Blaney's accident, not far off the leader. He was running down Almirola. You never know if that would have stayed green to the end. He might have had a shot to win the race and punch his ticket into the round of 8, but he just wasn't able to do it. Unfortunately enough for him, as Logano and Bowman will get the last two spots on points. But again, the four drivers that will not make it to the next round, Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman, that are eliminated here in the round of 12 at least. William Byron also eliminated. And Denny Hamlin had a good day too. And Hamlin went in below the cutoff line by 17 points. I'll have to take a look back here to see how many stage points Hamlin got, but I don't believe he outscored Bowman by enough. Just to be fair, I did not choke that away because given how damaged the race car was, just to will that car into the top 3 like we did was impressive of itself. And then we tried to avoid an accident, and as soon as I turned right to try and avoid LaJoy. I hit the curbing, but I hit it in an awkward spot where I kind of hit it straight with the right side tires, and once the right rear tire caught the curbing, it just jerked that car straight to the outside wall, and we hit head on. That was very unfortunate. So, trying to go on my phone back through the stream here and get these stage points. Might have to do it on my laptop because I can't find it on my phone. Again, we're just trying to decide who was in the round of 8 real quick here. It's actually a lot closer between Hamlin and Bowman than what I thought it was, because Hamlin came in minus 17 behind Bowman. Bowman got 0 stage points today and finishes 15th. Hamlin finishes 7th, so he beats him by 8 points there. And it's going to depend. If Hamlin scored 11 stage points, Hamlin will have the tiebreaker over Bowman. I don't believe he scored 11 stage points, but I'm just double checking just to make sure before we get out of here. It's unfortunate we couldn't see a good finish because that was looking like we were going to have one there. Hamlin, 5 points in stage 1. So if he finished, so if Denny Hamlin would have finished 5th in stage 2, he would actually have a tiebreaker with Bowman. He did. Hamlin, 11 stage points. Unbelievable. So Denny Hamlin scores 11 stage points plus his 30 place points for the finish. That scores Denny Hamlin 41 points today. He came in 17 behind Bowman. Bowman scores 0 stage points, finishes 15th. That means that Alex Bowman would have had 22 to Hamlin's 41, 19-point difference there. And let me fact check. Hamlin was 17 points back going in. So by 2 points, Denny Hamlin beats out Alex Bowman for that final spot to go to the playoffs. Or sorry, to go to the round of 8 of the playoffs. So Hamlin has knocked out Bowman by 2 points. So the 4 drivers that will not make it into the round of 8 and that are eliminated here in this very round are Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman, and William Byron. Tough break for Bowman, too, because he was actually the final driver to clinch at Daytona on points, and it ended up being that he made it to the round of 12, and he was only 2 points shy of the round of 8, despite only 1 stage win on the year. So very little playoff points for Bowman. He was the long shot for the season. He definitely got it. Matt DiBenedetto won the race. Yes, Matt DiBenedetto got the win here today, but as far as the championship goes, again, Hamlin will advance. So the 8 drivers that will be in the round of 8, Ryan Blaney, virtue of a win at Las Vegas, all on points for the next 7 spots of Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin by 2 points will be the 8 drivers that will be competing for a championship over the next 3, really next 4 races, but 4 more will be eliminated after the next 3. Next Cup Series races at Kansas, that will be next week. The next full race live stream will be tomorrow on the channel. Noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon. We go to Bristol for the Food City 500 on NASCAR Thunder 2004. So hopefully we can get back to our winning ways there and try to get that first win of the season, that long-awaited first win of the season on that final season of NASCAR Thunder 04. Thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight like, share, but most importantly, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast every day, as well as other related NASCAR content along the way. Thanks for everybody hitting the like button. If you haven't already, do so. That helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting these streams/videos recommended under other related NASCAR content. The more people that view this video and the more likes it gets, the more likely it is to be recommended under other videos. And also, most importantly, though, on top of all that, is hit that subscribe button. We are extremely close to not only 700 subs, but still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. 2020 was a great year. I look forward to what's going to come up here in 2021. Again, this is still the first calendar year of the channel until we get to mid-February, so it's a pretty decent start. It's a good start. It's a good start. I was definitely, honestly, when I first started, I was not expecting to get 1,000 subscribers in the first year. And so the fact that is still, it's looking like more of a long shot the closer we get, but it's not impossible still up to this point. We're only a month and a half out. So thanks for everybody. Thanks for all your support. I will see you guys tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time, and have a good rest of your night.